And hello everyone, all about the gyro here, and a 2-for-1 in this particular video. The new road circuit Winton Motor Raceway that is in Australia, and another new car, the Aston Martin Vantage GT4. So, this is going to be very, very interesting because there's a lot of things that we will be testing. The first is going to be the sprint setup to see how good it is. Secondly, the car. Third, the circuit. And fourth, this is the 10-top tussle, which means the new Hyundai Veloster is also eligible. So we may see that car as well. So it may end up being a 3-for-1 special. So Winton Motor Raceway has two layouts. Club, which is what this is, 1.26 miles, is just a tick over 2 kilometers. And then the national layout, that is about 1.85 miles, give or take. So roughly 3 kilometers. So let me show you the sprint setup. And the first thing you're going to notice is a lot of front brake bias. And that is because this is a front engine car. Sprint setup is using a nice soft ARB with a lot of wing. Very nice. And you can change both the ABS and the traction control separately. Now, this is a very nice value add because on the Porsche, everything is combined. But in the Aston, this is definitely helps. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank it all the way up. We're going to lower the brake bias back too. So let's go ahead and grid. And first thing I just noticed is I'm a little short. Let me change my height. And I am at 1.6 inches. So I am tall. In this, let me add, I'm going to run 9. Actually, I'm going to run 8.5 on the force feedback. And then 62, so we're going to go down 1% on that. And then we'll see if it's like plus or minus 3% in some cases for the brake bias.
Is 84. The air temp is 80. 15 minutes. You'll need to get on with this.
We're racing in Crocs again, so
we need to follow car number 21.
The other thing is this is a short. That's why I got a lot of traction control, a lot of ABS.
Okay, Dwayne, stay calm, focus. Let's go. 15 minutes left, that's 15 minutes.
Oh, overshot. Full tires. No way, that's okay. So I've done Winton. Did about 3 laps of Winton, but in a different car. I did in the F4.
Start's all right. Time to get stuck in.
And I also did a couple laps in the new Brazilian stock car. So you'll know what I know here. So the first thing that really comes out to me is the sound. The sound is really, really nice. The second thing is it's very neutral.
P7.
In terms of the way the car handles. So I'll be very curious to see how the this is definitely a lot of third gear here.
The leader has just done a 58.7.
The rear, for being softly sprung, is not too lively.
P6.
It actually feels a little bit more hooked up than the BMW M4 would feel. In the GT4 class. So, like, it just feels a little bit more into the surface, if that makes any sense. A little bit more in the surface. I did 2 laps of this car at Spa, and I went, wow, I really like it. Now, the car definitely passes the you can actually do a little bit of trail brake in it. Now, the track. A lot of people have been complaining that it's flat. Winton reminds me a lot of a street circuit. And if you approach it as a street circuit style, then it starts making sense.
Okay, Dwayne, just keep hitting your marks. This is looking good. P4.
So the next thing is, when you look at it as a street circuit,
The car behind is catching. The gap's now 0.2. To go. That's 10 minutes left.
then it becomes very straightforward of what you've got to do to get past. You can qualify well.
Fastest that lap time was 102.3.
Now this is my first laps in this car here. I just overshot the corner. And that's how you're going to get by here, is other people's mistakes. Now, in comparison, knowing the BMW GT4, this is a lot easier to drive than that car ahead of me. And the brakes are a little bit better than the car ahead of me.
The gap is 0.6.
And you can see he's struggling here a little bit. So, the other thing about Winton, looking at this, it's going to race very well for junior formula, but for the bigger cars, like VRS, for example, comes to mind.
That's half distance. Fuel levels are fine.
I would not want to race here. It's very, very tight. It's very similar to Knockhill that way, except there's less opportunity for passing. The other thing I'm realizing is you got to keep it for the Aston third gear here a lot. Which means in the BMW, that will also be the same. Third gear, it will be the default gear that you will need to use. You see the car is getting quicker and quicker.
That's exactly what we need. That was at 1:00.8.
The other thing is there's a lot of right angle corners. So you need mechanical grip.
The gap in front is increasing. It's
now,
1.9
GT4s have also been EOP'd. So, Porsche Cayman, one of the 5 best cars on the service is that car. That car is now been pegged back even more. Now,
P5.
So, will there be better competition in the GT4s this year? Because for a while it has been Porsche. The McLaren 570 chews up the front tires too much, and the BMW can't stop.
Okay, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
So they needed to have done something to get a little bit of parity. And I'll be very curious to see this car is very approachable. Lexi has had an off. That's the other thing here is you lose it.
The leader's just done a 59.0.
And this is the only split in this 10-top tussle because of Andy Corsa in here. And he is twice my iRating.
P4.
So, P4
is now 4.2.
I am not too disappointed in, actually. Especially when I have not practiced this car here. Practiced other cars. So I knew the challenge coming here. This little section right here, it has really good flow.
That last lap was at 1:00.8 seconds.
I'm finding time.
To go, 2 minutes.
And these 3 hairpins get tighter and tighter. Very technical. And you can take some curb. And gaining a little more time. I think with a little bit more practice, I'd be under a minute here in this car, in this layout. So, big question. Gyro, should I buy the car? Absolutely. This is the car you want to start GT4 racing in. iRacing now has it. It's this car. It stops good enough. Turns good enough. It tells you when you've done right. And it also tells you when you've done wrong. It's very predictable.
That's the fastest lap of the race. That was at 1:00.6 seconds.
Very, very predictable car. Has a nice feel for a front engine car. Definitely, if I'm doing the Fix series, and I am putting on the Falcon tire livery to illustrate that series. I would definitely use this in the Fix series. For sure. As you see, I'm getting quicker and quicker as I understand that this really gives you good tactile feedback. And So, and there's Andy. So I don't know if he was just wanting to get in the video, but hey. Andy, you got into the video, buddy.
P4.
And there we go.
That's the end. Good finish.
59.9. Hey, Andy, you just got into the recording. There he is. Andy Corso, one of the great fun people. Really good guy. So, yeah, he deserves to get into the recording. So, overall impressions. So, let's first talk about the car. Definite must buy. It will race well. It will race well. For sure. Now, the track. Andy's gonna turn me. There it is. Winning! So there it is, the Falcon livery, who is sponsoring the Fixed Series, and Andy wanted to give me a love tap. He cares. But anyway, he kind of spun the car to where, you know what, we're just going to leave that right there. That actually looks really, really good. And you see the two new cars. He drove the Veloster. This is what it looks like. And there is the new Aston Martin. So it kind of worked out. So thanks, Andy, for the spin. You're definitely in the video now for sure. And you notice we gained speed. This car inspires confidence. Here's the laps. Started really slow, and then we started figuring things out of how to drive this car here, and we got it under 1 minute. So, Aston Martin, definitely a must buy. Winton. Winton is not a must buy. Winton is a series dependent purchase. Because you see how short it is and how difficult it is to pass. Therefore, here's the difference. So we were on the leader's pace pretty much. We just needed to do it over and over and over again. So Monsieur Etienne, much more consistent than us, and that is the difference. He who is consistent here will do fine. So Winton series specific, the Aston definitely purchase. As always, my friends, take care of yourselves, take care of one another. God bless.